Hi there, mate. Silverfire here today. Today I am live streaming a session 0 of the web New Dawn. Here with me is currently Jay and possibly Will in the future.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Anyways, let's get down to business, shall we?
All right.
So, Jay, as far as your character goes, do you know how to make one?
I mean, I think I created something akin to it. Just look at my character sheet.
Hold on. Basically, I'm going to show the people at home how to do it as well, because I have a little bit of it. But basically, we are going to be playing Savage Worlds. It's a campaign system that allows it to be a little bit more flexible than Dungeons and Dragons. Not that I'm getting tired of Dungeons and Dragons, it's just more of a different look. So basically, it is a dice system that uses miniatures similar to Dungeons and Dragons. Uh, there are a few rules that I am going to apply because, you gotta have the rules in this one. So, Jay, what kind of character are you trying to go for?
I'm trying to create I suppose, archetype wise, he's pretty much a gunslinger, double gunslinger, pistolier.
Yep. I guess we might as well introduce like your person's race and whatnot. And I'm gonna
My
see
person is
if
a
that
human.
contradicts my rule list that I haven't showed you guys yet.
My person is a human,
Okay.
and which means one free edge.
Yep.
All right. So I chose ambidextrous as my first free edge. I then have two minor hindrances, which allows me to have additional edges, one edge at least. Delusion and the cautious. Both of them are the minor hindrances.
Yep.
I then chose two fisted as my second edge.
Mm.
Mhm. I have two more minor hindrances. One is the habit of spinning around his gun, which
Yep.
can be problematic later on. A quirk that he wears his headwear all the time, no matter what, no matter what time of day, no matter what time of season,
Yep.
the helmet stays on, which could be annoying to some people. And as a
Um.
result, I have two additional minor hindrances, so I chose steady hands as my edge
So
number three.
I guess you could say that you're some kind of marksman.
And yes,
Okay. So the marksman has the abilities of agility D10, a smarts of D6, a spirit of D6, a strike of D6, and a vigor of D6. Basically, you're really good at shooting, but okay as far as the other areas.
well, I'm not smart.
Anyways, but basically, your fighting skill would be like a D6, your notice would be a D6, your shooting will be a D10, your taunt is like a D6 plus 5 additional skills of your choosing. The hindrance is one major and one minor, which we'll be getting into here in a second.
Yeah, I didn't chose the marksman archetype. I actually read through the PDF and did everything by manual.
Yeah. Um, the race that I'm not going to be allowing in this one is androids. mainly because they're like my Warforge that I had originally. They're very few and far in between. Like the ones that did manage to survive both World Wars are really freaking old, and the information has been long since lost. So, something like, oh, I could just probably make more and just make myself an army of Warforges or androids in this case. So, yeah. But other than that, most of these races are okay. If you're going to make a race, just let me know, but I don't think you are.
Nah.
Alright, so have you chose your skills yet?
Yeah, I did. Okay, so D8 for fighting, D8 for driving, D8 for lockpicking, D10 for stealth, D6 for notice, D6 for persuasion, and D10 for shooting.
Right. Alright, so here's my question as far as your weapons go. Do you typically carry your weapons all the time or no?
And by carry, you mean on your body or by hand?
On your person.
Yes.
Alright, so with that noticed, I think more or less your character sheet is more or less okay for what I'm noticing. Also, I don't know why yours is in a weird Spanish.
I know. I was about to ask you that, but then like, maybe something up with the program. That's it.
I think there might have been a mess up on Roll20's end, but I'll keep an eye on that. So, with your character sheet out of the way, basically, your character comes down to what kind of archetype you want to go for, i.e., your class. And basically, your class kind of defines on what kind of playstyle you're going for.
Mm.
So, for your example, Jay, I would like assume like some kind of motor police cop.
Hmm. Yeah. See, the problem here I had is that I didn't know we were supposed to pick out an archetype first because I thought it was like completely optional.
No,
Like,
basically your
yeah,
archetype is basically your general class, but we'll just say that you are a marksman. Just keep that in mind, alright?
all right. Yeah, ideally I want to be a pistolier because that's what he's gonna be, but yeah.
Well, you could still be technically your gunslinger kind of guy. I'm just saying that most likely the class you would be marksman. Doesn't
And
mean you
when you
have to
mentioned
have
my
anything long range.
yeah, when you mentioned I had to like if I carry my guns off the often, excuse me, often, I didn't know. I thought we were like talking in the present, not in my backstory wise. So in that case, change that to a no. He wouldn't carry it on himself all the time.
Right. I was just asking if your character would have been a police officer. That's kind of generally the idea I was getting across.
Okay.
Anyways, but yeah, um, our campaign's going to begin roughly around a bar in a city that's about 3 hour drive from, as Jay and Will both know and tell you, Ivory Town, where the campaign kind of started. One of the rules that I am going to be using is called Blood and Guts. Basically, I am going to be extremely brutal with my creatures. So you could use your bennies which you get a total of 3, I think, per session. I don't know how you recover them. I don't know, remember all the details about that, but basically, each player has 3 bennies.
Well, I think you get bennies simply based on like the GM as a whim. Like if you're role playing good, okay, a benny. If you fought a good fight, okay, benny.
Yeah,
That's pretty much how
it's up to
bennies.
the GM, i.e., myself, things. So if I think a player's doing really well in a fight, I could give them a benny. But I could also torture them with the bennies. But yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, I could say you don't get any bennies because you failed your shot or something like that, as an example.
That's fine. Oh, and before we continue, I should mention I do have 4 edges, which I explained the 4 edges, but I reason I have the fourth one is because I my major hindrance, which is phobia, scopiophobia, the fear of being looked at,
And that could be why you have the helmet on.
which explains the quirk.
Alright. Oh, I think you may have deleted one of your hindrances.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how the enemy is gonna work out in the setting we're gonna have, so I didn't do anything with it. I didn't give myself an additional uh bonus or did anything with myself. So yeah,
Alright.
that could be erased easily, unless you want to talk about it.
Alright, let's take a look at enemy as a hindrance. And good thing I got this on here. Alright, so it's basically an either a minor or major. And basically, someone out there hates the character and wants him or her dead. The value of the hindrance depends on how powerful the enemy is and how often he will show up. A minor enemy might be a lone gunslinger out for vengeance. A major enemy might be a supernatural gunslinger who wants your hero dead. If the enemy is one day defeated, the GM should gradually work in a replacement, or the hero may buy off the hindrance by sacrifice and advantage. So basically, you're being hunted down by some guy or girl.
True, but what if I say it's the mind in the mind?
Uh, well, the way that it describes it, it sounds like it's an actual physical person. This could be like an interesting roleplay aspect in a campaign. And that plus the likelihood of you running into your enemy is gonna be kinda low because they're gonna be worried about their own survival as well.
Hmm.
Not to say that you can completely avoid your enemy, because once your enemy does see you or someone that looks like you, they're going after you.
Hmm. What could be a proper enemy in this type of scenario?
Well, you could have it as like a former best friend that you may have betrayed, or maybe one of my own monsters.
Hmm.
So
Perhaps
we'll work on that. I'll work on that in the background.
we'll talk about that later.
Anyways, that's
Well,
what an enemy does. So your habit is to have a revolver ocelot.
yep, pull a revolver off.
Oh, Metal Gear Solid joke right there.
Not a Metal Gear Solid joke, but a reference.
Yeah, I know it's a reference, but still. But yeah, basically, what the edges and hindrances give me, the GM, is to kind of influence the player a little bit. For example, I could have someone to look at the person from a far away distance, and Jay would feel that intensifying because of his fear. Just as a random example.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather.
Huh. Good thing I went under the weather earlier. Problem is that it affected my ear. It makes it really painful.
Alright, so looks like your stuff is more or less in order. But yeah. Oh yeah. So in this game, you kind of have to track your wounds and fatigue level. The more wounds you got, the worse it gets. That's what the beanies are kind of for, is to prevent these kind of wounds. One, I believe, is like a minor. Two, I think, is like moderate.
Three is
Three,
major.
three, I think, is serious, and I think this one is
And the
basically
squiggly
critical.
line is
No, that's
just dead.
incapacitated.
Oh, well, considering this world, it might as well be dead.
Yeah, and so yeah, I believe your character's more or less covered. So let's go a little bit in a background of the world, I guess. So if you haven't watched the last one, I honestly do recommend it. It's not one of my greatest works, but it's okay. But basically, um, these two were a part of a campaign that I called simply the Web. And basically, after a couple attempts and some long thinking about it, I finally figured out a way how to make it into an intriguing story. Or at least hopefully. I got a few more details to iron out, but basically the gist is you are going to need to survive the worst possible outcome out there. This is
Right?
not a post-apocalyptic event. This is happening in the here and now of the 1987 world that I created. The world is based in a fantasy setting. History is more or less the same as our worlds with a few minor differences. And of course, some major differences if you watch the other two. So, Jay, what would you describe my monster as?
Well, think of the necromorph, but minus the human part and add more insectile parts to it, and you might get an idea. Oh, and don't forget the chrysalids from XCOM. Add them too, and that's pretty much how they are.
Yeah, except now I've added new variants. Oh no, that did get. I must have not completed that. Oh well, I'll put that in later. Anyways, basically, the town that you guys will be starting up in will be roughly the size of a decent sized city. For those that's been around Chattanooga, would have a better estimation for as far as size goes. But basically, you guys are in a medium-sized city at best. So a lot of people, a lot of traffic, and it's just gonna become utter chaos. So, let me discuss some of the information that the characters would know. They would know about Ivory Town because they live about 3 hours away. The characters would not know about the satellite that hits in Ivory Town, nor what happens in Ivory Town. You guys will be almost relying on the news on that front. There's going to be some factions here and there that start up with the apocalypse and some after the apocalypse. Not like as the apocalypse is over, more like it's still going on, if that makes sense. Jay, feel free to chime in whenever.
Sure.
So basically, here's where kind of history kind of gets a little obscured. In 1943, in this world, a meteorite crashes in Nazi Germany, Berlin. Specifically, it destroys a weapon factory. In 1914, the Nazi research team known as Project Dominus was launched into
Mhm.
space. A lot of a lot of bad stuff will happen, which we will explain with the prologue, which will happen eventually when we get around to it.
Mhm.
But basically, um, it was covered up as a Nazi Germany missile launch test. Not even the world knew about this satellite. And of course, it only made it that much better that about in 1957, the first real life satellite, Sputnik, was launched. However, it was never. However, the Nazi research space station was never found until 1987 when it crash lands into Ivory Town, where the monster basically starts to wreak havoc in the town.
Oh yeah.
The monster basically spread wild and fast. In some cases, not as fast. My Indominus Alpha takes at most 3 hours to incubate. So you guys at least survived quote unquote 3 hours. Not to say that it's on rare to find one that's was created into two, but I do have a bit of an evolutionary trait with the creature. Basically, the lowliest one can evolve into an alpha.
Oh boy.
So basically, the first one that you met, Jay, became the alpha.
I think we killed it. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, technically, you guys didn't kill it. A nuclear bomb did.
Nah, same thing. Oh wait, no, no, not a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, so basically the campaign ended, that first session ended with four people basically surviving. Named Red, the slime folk, Alec, a human wizard, Lela, a dark elf barbarian ranger kind of person, and
And a dwarf.
Kagernaki Clear Eye. Basically, they were detained shortly after their helicopter crashed and burned, thanks to the electrical signals that the atomic bomb basically caused throughout the aircraft, causing it to crash. Basically, about roughly an hour later at the longest, the next creature burst out of an American soldier operative that was part of the people that basically, you know, made you guys surrender. The second one was basically seeing our survivors escape the military airbase. You guys heard a radio signal saying that the creatures have escaped uh, the facilities by not only air but by automobile. So this would become the global event of the Dominus. However, your characters won't know that. Well, way we, the audience, would know what happened to the group, you are going to be fed information by the news media in the bar.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be some um, mistranslations and falsifying, much like how it is in real life to an extent.
All right.
This way, it kind of makes it a little bit realistic, and I mean, a nuclear bomb going off in an American town would be sacrilege. The government would definitely cover that up as quickly as possible. So, yeah, it's going to kind of represent what would happen in that worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it was an American trooper's lives on the line, you know?
Yeah.
And American citizens. So, yeah, there's going to be some misconstrued stuff. Also, I'm going to be extremely brutal. You're going to need food, water, heat, and shelter. We're still in, we're at basically the beginning of spring break, so spring's just kind of coming around.
All right, we're pulling out The Walking Dead. If Walking Dead was going to be excited, excited.
hmm But basically, long story short, our players who has the information, their characters will not have the information. So basically, the creature is very tough. Like, the only way you're going to kill my creature is by fire, in most cases. And I'm debating on adding new variants that would be completely immune to fire that you guys would have a really tough time against. Jake?
Yes.
I'm still debating whether or not I should add
I mean,
the
I
other
feel
four
like
variants.
it adds more fun to the taste, you know?
Yeah. That plus, there are going to be some variants that look very similar to others. I'm just letting you guys know beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
That plus, Will has came up with a few suggestions that actually kind of improve my creature.
Hmm. Okay.
And some things I think might be a small hindrance, and depending on factors, I will be basing on what I think would happen if this scenario were to actually be real.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to be major brutal. That means if you get an infection, you're going to need a proper medicine to take care of it.
Which is, well, let's just say we need have to invade Area 51 for that medicine.
Against my Indominus monster, there is no cure.
Exactly.
So the likelihood of you being affected by the Indominus is extremely deadly.
Don't worry, just give me two more character sheets. I'll make something up.
But yeah, basically we're going to have this campaign start about a few hours before the satellite hits, and the satellite will hit at just about the dusk in the general area that we have this campaign set up in. So basically, by the time you get the information, uh, the satellite would have already crashed into Ivory Town, and the infection would have started. And of course, the news team ain't gonna know anything because they can't contact anyone, if you remember, because the phone lines were down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys are going to need ammunition for your weapons. You're going to, unless you're using like a sword, and even then you will need to maintain it.
No, no, just no.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be mega brutal on this. Not to say that you can't find the ammo or won't find the ammo, it's just gonna be kinda hard.
All right, time to make some ammo, boys. Let's gonna skin up some fire abominations and use their flesh as bullets or gunpowder.
uh, you're funny.
Oh, when the GM says you're funny, that's just kill. That's gonna kill me.
But yeah, you would need the actual bullet casing, a primer, uh, the correct amount of gunpowder, which you could make black powder very easily by getting the simple components.
If I was crazy enough, yeah. Which I probably am, considering I'm a bit delusional.
And then you would need to smelt down the actual bullet. You would actually have to have like a bullet forge, essentially.
Brilliant.
And a press to, make sure it all fits all together
Oh
nice
yeah,
and tight.
we cannot forget the press. Well, see you guys. I'm gonna see you guys again in Fallout New Vegas.
I should probably not laugh. Oh boy. Alright, so
Oh, I actually got some items based off of like a 500 gold, like
dollars.
$500. Yeah. So I'll list down what I have currently. I should have a backpack, a bedroll, canteen, lighter, survival knife, Ruger, flak jacket, a buckler. Just assume it's like I just took a one of those pans. 50, 22 bullets, and motorcycle helm.
Yep. So by the sounds of it, you have 15 rounds. Just by the sounds of it.
18. I actually have two Rugers, two pistols.
Right.
All right, so 50, 22 bullets.
So that's a grand total of 44 bullets. Alright, do keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
yes.
Because, yeah, if you run out of ammo, that weapon's basically useless. Because unless you're using it as a club, it's not going to do much else other than, be just pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically, our characters are going to try their best to survive the apocalypse. Now, with
or
that said, I
at
am going to
least
put
10.
some real life factors into this. So, if you since you guys are be starting off in a city, I gave you probably one of the hardest outcomes you guys can get. Which it doesn't mean that you can't get out of the city and get into the nearby forest, but it's gonna be very difficult, especially when people start to riot.
Especially when people start to riot.
But yeah, I asked my dad on what was the worst riot in a city, and he said that the city burnt down. Now, imagine the people rioting on that level of magnitude with my monster.
Not so good. Hmm. But wouldn't there be military curfew nearly immediately after the news was spread out?
Well, again, I'm gonna try to do it as realistic as possible, but you remember my creature was able to take out a military operation at their own
True,
headquarters.
true, but that was just only one. And I'm assuming there's multiple operations going out
Well, yeah.
involving other military military men outside the HQ
Well, yeah, there's
after it.
still military forces, but you remember in the last one that we ran, which was a while ago, where your characters were running through the forest and you saw fires off at a distance?
Uh-huh.
Basically, you were seeing the fires of burning cities and whatnot.
Oh no.
So, yeah. When I have a creature that's literally as tough as nails that can't really be killed by most normal means, it's going to become really hard on a military, regardless of what military, I personally think, would have trouble against my monster. Not to say that the military doesn't have plans for this sort of thing. Again, this is 1987, dealing with 1987 technology slash military. So they have a slightly better chance. My monsters have a slightly better chance against my monsters than they do have a con.
Oh boy.
So yeah, not to say that military personnel won't survive. It's just kind of a little bit part of the story too. So yeah,
All right. Wait, hold on. Give me a second. I'm being called downstairs.
all right.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Alright, so basically, you guys are gonna have a really bad time. And it's to represent uh, how we're most likely gonna survive my kind of creature. Also, I am gonna have y'all's group to make very difficult decisions. For example, there might be a encounter or even a chance encounter where you guys might need medicine. You found medicine, but you see what looks to be a camp of like wounded people, sick, injured, etc. So I'm going to give you guys dilemmas with no clear answers in some cases.
Oh, fantastic. Well, as long as it's dilemmas and not companion choices, which causes them to leave the party, I'm okay.
Well, technically, you can have companions.
Damn it. Well, at least I played some Divinity, so I have some practice.
But yeah, based on their personality, their morals, and whatnot, depends on what they would like slash dislike. For example, if you have a character that is not a fan of killing, if you were to kill someone while they are within your presence, they're not gonna like you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Nice. Just like those BioWare games.
But yeah,
Jameson will remember that. Alec will remember that.
and here's the fun thing: you guys can actually run into your old characters.
Possibly.
Now,
Possibly.
there are going to be some planned encounters and random enchants counters. Some planned encounters might be ambushes, depending on who you pissed off and whatnot, etc., etc., etc. Ugh, excuse me.
Ooh.
But yeah, you guys will have to think about it tactically and responsively. But basically, we're going to test out your apocalypse, your apocalyptic plan.
Well, I don't have a plan, so this is gonna be perfect.
And some people don't have a plan. And this is a great representation of what could happen. But yeah. uh, and I kind of agree with my folks on this one. I have created one of the most dangerous Indominus species ever. And spoiler alert, it spits.
Well, it was a good thing I took a lot of points in agility and parrying and toughness.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The reason why it's so dangerous is because it can affect you with its spit.
I mean, if a sickened person drew up on me, I expect to be as sick as them. So, yeah.
No, no, no. You remember how my Indominus creatures, on how they're supposed to bite a person and basically they implant an egg that takes a few hours to incubate and whatnot?
So you're telling me they're spitting eggs?
Well, more like a liquid that can form an egg if there's any open orifices.
Liquid eggs. Beautiful.
So, imagine imagine a spider, right? Imagine that spider able to basically affect its host from range with its seed.
The only thing capable of doing that, I expect, will probably be wasps, not spiders.
Yeah, but again, just imagine that if you will.
I think I already get that point.
But yeah, it's got an acid spit, it's got a poison spit, and the affection spit. If you guys want, I could go over the some of the old variants and some of the new ones that you guys will be going up against.
I like it as a surprise.
All right. At least you know one of the new ones, but your character won't know that.
Of course he wouldn't. He's a fool.
Again, if he saw something like that, we're able to spit at him, I'm pretty sure he would run.
Nah, nah, he's gonna pull a revolver ocelot. Try to deflect the spit by spinning his guns.
uh, remember when I said about the whole acid for spit?
Damn, it's gonna affect my gun too. Damn.
Yeah. So,
Uh, if revolver ocelot can fend off bees by spinning his gun, I can fend off acid as well.
no. I am going to take a bit of a realistic approach. So basically, if you were to quote unquote parry with your gun with the acid spit, it's going to both melt your gun and your hand.
All right.
So you can't cheese it.
I don't. I don't think there is a cheese unless it's glass, but that poses its own problems.
Yeah. And good luck finding a glass revolver.
Hey, glass cannon, am I right?
More like a glass chamber.
More like a glass barrel.
Yeah, true.
More like glass hair trigger. More like an oh,
How would
stop.
that even work?
I don't know. How would even a glass gun work
I mean, the only thing
without
I can think
shattering
of
on the
was
first
to
shot?
be like legitimate machine parts within the gun that you will be able to see the firing pin and whatnot. But taking it apart would be a pain.
You mean there is no taking apart?
Yeah, so if that gun breaks, there's no more using it.
I mean, you can still shove a few glass down someone's neck.
Well, yeah, but if it were to break down as far as the components with inside, it's gonna be effectively useless.
Mm, okay.
Which is gonna be a factor within the game, so you're gonna probably need something to maintain your firearms.
Yep.
But yeah, basically this was a kind of let's see what kind of character you made and whatnot, and basically kind of describe the world and some of the rules. And I think we basically covered all three of those, haven't we?
Yeah, we did.
All right, way to go, me, for keeping on task for once. Now what?
Well, Will's not here, and Keiju did not join us, so.
And unfortunately, uh, like I said, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so I don't feel too great to run the first session.
Hmm. I suppose we could like wait until next session to do better.
Yeah,
In fact, hmm, perhaps. Hmm. All right. I guess I'll just add like a gun repair kit to my character. And
y-
speaking of which, character story time.
yep. Uh, do tell me a bit of the backstory with your character, if you don't mind.
Well, before I like to think that hmm, originally what I planned out for his character is that oh, the character he poses as is not supposed to be a man. It's supposed to be played as a woman. And as a result, his sister, the one who's actually chosen, is supposed to kill him in order to right the wrongs. In other words, where he come from, it's I would, I know it's a dimension hopping, I guess you can say. But the dimension he came from was pretty damn similar, if not entirely similar, just with the weird rule of who's who. So he would know everything that he needs to know.
Yeah, you would know like general dates, what happened, etc.
Yeah, the technology completely the history is completely unchanged, just with that weird who's who rule. But I think it might be better to remove that completely and just simply be, oh, he hit his head one day, like while on a job, and then now he believes that he might be from a different place, but not entirely different. And it bugs him, it teases him, which just explains why he has a minor delusional trait,
Yep.
or at least why his delusionalness is I consider a minor thing. As for his enemy, was supposed to be his sister, like it's supposed to be completely superior in gun skills whatsoever. But like I said, remove that completely and just
Well, we could
have
still
this.
keep the sister factor, but
But
just
I
not
think the
the
sister
whole interdimension hopping.
yeah, but I also think the sister will probably have more things to take care about than focusing on killing me.
Unless she
So,
really hates you.
unless she really hates me, then we can talk about that. But she doesn't. She just wants me dead because I end up like being someone who I'm not, which isn't that big of a crime. Just like just like a petty crime, petty revenge.
Eh.
And but we can have a let's say a gang or a clan or a completely what would be appropriate faction in a post-apocalyptic settings?
Well, it's not
Raiders?
post-apocalyptic. Like, the apocalypse is happening while you guys are in the campaign.
Yeah, and
So
that's
it could be a
why I
competition
think
on who kills the most monsters or something like that.
true, but in that case, I'd rather just write out the enemy hindrance completely because I can't seem to figure out what be a more appropriate enemy, major, especially a major enemy hindrance for Beloved.
All right.
Yes. Which is good because I didn't do anything with him.
And
With that hint.
I'll also be making some characters in the background, probably sometime next week, to be kind of potential survivors, depending on who you guys like,
Depending if they survive.
and that too.
Mm. Also, I want to make a mention about his scopophobia. Is it okay if I were to mitigate some of that effect by having my character by adding to my character's bit of delusion that if he wears a mask or he wears something that obscures his eyes at the very least, he doesn't believe that they are looking at him.
I'll say that it will probably count as a phobia, like as the actual phobia
Oh,
hindrance.
sorry. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I mute myself. By
Eh,
myself, I meant my headphones. Sorry.
it's alright.
Can you repeat that?
I was saying that because it's considered a phobia, I will go be using the actual hindrance of phobia. So if you're not wearing your helmet, you will get scared.
All right.
Also, anyone that's looking at you for very long, short periods of time will kind of creep you out a little bit,
Yes.
even with the helmet on.
Yes. All right. I say that's fair. It's just something for him to actually get through his day. Because if I kept that like to the full potential, I don't think he can even talk to shopkeepers,
Yeah,
which is a big problem considering that I think every single, well, nearly single mammal out there has eyes.
imp,
Hmm.
especially that one, especially that
Especially
very.
the abominations.
Yep. All right,
All right.
so looks like this is going to be an
Oh,
interesting campaign.
oh, can I also keep my weapons, like my double Rugers, my survival knife?
Yeah, sure. I'll say that you do have them.
All right.
I'll be nice.
All right. As for my buckler, I think I should write that out and not write it out completely yet. Just more like, oh, I don't have it on me.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a cooking pot on your person, because why on earth would you have a cooking pot? Unless you're
Hmm.
going out for camping.
True. All right. So let's just say I don't have it. As for my backpack and bedroll, that just, can I?
I'll say that you could have the backpack, but not the bedroll.
Yeah. Unless I was traveling.
Unless you were like, again, like I said, unless you were going to go camping and just taking a stop in this particular bar,
Mm-hmm.
then I'll say that you can have them.
All right, that's fair. I think I'm gonna remove my flak jacket too, because I don't think a citizen like me will probably have that on me.
Yeah, the likelihood of you having a flak jacket is kind of low,
All right, let's say I don't have it right now,
but we'll
but
just
I
say that
can't
you can
say
probably find it eventually.
probably, or by find it, I meant peel it off a corpse. If that corpse isn't acid ridden
Or has been completely destroyed.
or has been completely destroyed, that too. Okay, so can I say I was going planning to go out camping?
Yeah,
All right, fantastic. Yeah,
so
I think that will fit my character. Like he doesn't like being stared at, so camping is a breath of fresh air.
quite literally.
The double, yeah, the double Rugers. I could explain like he could be a collector a bit of a gun collector.
Yeah, and also self-defense in the wild.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps we could say one of them has been inherited.
That too.
At least one.
We'll say that one of them was inherited and one of them you may have bought it.
Yeah, one of them I actually bought. And then later on in my advancement, I'll probably have a favorite weapon.
Right?
All right. Oh, let's not forget some food rations.
Yeah.
Probably some like a couple of fast food. Let me check with the PDF myself as well. There should be items list. Range
Okay, I found a food.
at the shoot. Ah,
I found
thank
it.
you.
So it's basically says fast food meal, which is a cheap meal. That's five. A good meal, which is basically at a restaurant, and that's 15 plus, no value at the other end. I guess the one side's the weight, the other is basically how much it cost.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, MRE meals ready to eat has a value of 10 for one item, for basically £1 each. Travel rations, which is most likely what you would have for a camping trip.
Let's make it three.
Hold on. Let me explain what the travel rations are, or trail rations. Basically, it's 5 meals and it keeps up to a week.
Pretty useful in the wild.
And most likely, if you were to go camping, I would think the travel rations would be something you would have on your person.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay.
But
So
that
what do you?
doesn't that does not include water, by the way.
Oh, well, good thing I have a canteen. All right. So how many do you think I would have?
Well, one of
Travel
them is
rations.
basically 5 meals, and it says it about keeps a week. So I would
And a
say
person.
most people don't camp
Sorry.
in the woods for very long. At most, I think I've seen a person go camping for like a month. So I'm just
No.
gonna lowball it and say probably a couple of days at most. So you probably would just
Yeah.
have
So I
one trail ration.
one or two. Well, actually, I'm a bit cautious. So can I say I would have two?
Yeah, I'll give you two because you would be cautious. It'd be like, what if I run out of food? What if I get lost? That kind of stuff.
No matter where I go, I might, yeah, I'm scared myself.
And it does
Uh,
make sense.
and yeah, I'm probably gonna be broke.
Yep,
Oh,
you're.
there's so much. There's a lot of things and items regarding adventuring gear that I probably would have. So I think it's best if I just like talk to you through it all. Like whetstone, do you think? I think I would get a. Hmm. For no. I don't think I will. Actually, no. I do bring a survival knife, which might already involve a whetstone.
Um, hmm. That is a good question.
Well, I know what he would bring in, which is probably let's see here, the flint and steel.
Yeah,
Pretty
because that's a
obvious
pretty
considering.
easy fire starter equipment. Well, you do have a lighter too.
True that, and I do, and I guess you can say my survival knife is a steel, but I don't probably just need the flint. But hey, what if my lighter runs out of gas? Don't want to leave myself open to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just say that that's
And
the one thing you may have overlooked, though.
hmm, good point. Yeah, I'll just find some dry leaves. All right. What
uh,
what about soap? What about soap? Can I bring soap?
uh, most people don't take soap when they're camping.
Well, those people are barbarians. They are not smart like me. Unlike them, I am cautious. I will bring some soap.
All right, put some soap in that bag.
Yeah, soap. Just a common brand soap. It's not like this is gonna save me whatsoever.
No, but there is gonna be hygiene.
Indeed, I need to keep my hygiene. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right.
The only use I will need for rope is to hang my. I mean,
Well, there's a lot of useful things for ropes. Like you can make traps, you could use it to carry stuff.
no, I don't actually. I don't think people will bring rope to a camping trip, so I doubt that he will bring rope.
Well, unless it's like a hunting camping trip, yeah, they don't
Nah,
typically bring rope.
nah, I don't think he's going out camping to hunt. He's just camping to like as a breath of fresh air, really.
Yeah, I think
So
that sounds about
yeah,
right.
yeah, knock down on a rope. There's no such thing as cellular phone. What do I need a camera for?
Yeah,
I think a bedroll already includes a blanket.
yeah, I'm gonna say a bedroll automatically includes blanket,
Yeah.
because it will most
Hmm.
likely be like a camping sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm. There's no need for shovel because I can use my hands.
A shovel would just make it faster.
Yeah, it's true. A shovel will make it faster, but actually, but I don't think like in most camping trips, people bring shovels anyways. So,
Not unless they're gonna take you,
unless we're gonna use the restroom, but I'm not staying there for too long. So,
yeah, like at most probably like a couple of days, like 2 to 3 at most.
I was thinking of 4 at most, but yeah, 3, 2, but just say 3.
Yeah,
3, I think
let's
it's
say
good.
3, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
So, and unless you have an outhouse, you're going to need a shovel.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm okay with the shovel.
Yeah, you're okay with the shovel.
All right, I'm gonna add it then.
All right, and I think that's about
Yeah, I
everything.
think that's pretty much. Yeah. Just replace the gun repair kit with a toolkit because I think they're both of the same thing.
No, I'm actually going to count them as two separate things.
Ah, okay. Hmm.
So, for example,
But
a
I
toolkit
can.
would help you maintain your tools. A gun kit will help you maintain your firearms.
Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna keep the gun kit, but not the toolkit.
Yep.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for my character. He's a good amount of it.
All right. Well, I think that's all good in the neighborhood. Just doing one last check.
Feels good. Oh, and question: do you think you're gonna invite new players to
Uh,
play some Savage Worlds?
I might. We'll see about that. All right.
All right. Well, do what you think is best for you.
But yeah, basically, I think we are more or less done with your.
Yeah. Oh, and before we begin next session, can we say that I have already eaten my day's meal by having some fast food while on the drive to the forest?
Yeah, sure. And you could be basically having this food at the bar that I just mentioned.
That too. Wait, can it be good meals instead of fast food meal at the bar?
Yeah, some bars have really good meals, so yeah, it could be like a restaurant meal.
Fantastic, fantastic. All right, I think yeah, that's everything for me.
All right.
Crap. Then we got to talk about the car I'm driving. Wait, can I say I'm going? No, not taxi. Not taxi. Taxi won't bring me there. Hmm.
Taxi will take you like most of the way, but it's not gonna take you all the way to the woods.
Mm-hmm. I doubt a taxi would allow me to bring firearms either. So I might want to just
As long
go
as you have
with
a
my.
permit for those firearms, I think most people are okay with it.
Oh no, I can just say I'm bringing it in the duffel bag, which is the backpack,
Yeah.
which would be totally okay. All right, yeah, I'll just say I'll bring it, like put it all in the backpack.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that's all right.
All right.
Is that all right with you?
That sounds fine by me.
All right. All right. Thank you. Fantastic. Oh, all right. So everything seems in order then.
Yep. I
Hmm.
just now have to put your character on the board. All right. Also, Jay, if you do find the time and if you feel like going doing it, I'm not gonna force you to do it or anything, but could you draw me the Indominus creature?
Hmm. I'm not really good with drawing anything other than like human, but well, I would say I'll tell you this much. Don't keep your hopes up. I doubt it, but if I do it, I'll let you know.
All right.
So just Yeah, I'm just gonna say no.
Yeah, it's just on the back burner for right now. You don't have to do it, but if you can do it, that's great.
Hmm. All right, thank you, though. Thank you for asking. All right. Whew. I think I said all right way too much already. I should just leave right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Okay.
almost tempted to say, people don't take shots whenever he says all right.
You.
I'm going to bet that someone's going to
Oh
do
my
that
God.
now.
I almost said that AR right there. So I'm not gonna. Instead, I'm gonna say it's been nice meeting you after a while, and I look forward to the next game. And hopefully we be there, and I'm going to take my leave.
All right,
Oh,
time to
oh
end this.
shit! No, I did it again. Have a nice weekend. It's over.
All right, time to end this off before I get into too much trouble.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this small little episode. I'm sorry if
Session
I
for me.
did show you guys a whole lot on the character building. I might do that as a one-off on probably a Sunday, maybe, but we'll see what happens. Until
Okay.
then, I'll see y'all mates next time.
Next week, Saturday.
Yep.
See you guys.